But there's something inherent to the kind of pyramid of control of hierarchy. When you're screwing the people below you, you're screwing them on every level, financially, spiritually, philosophically, and, as
sexually.
we know, sexually as well, because it's the final physical screwing which kind of seals the nail in the coffin of the fact. But I think it's all, every cloud has a silver lining. For me, the inherent ugliness of power is a great sign for us people who are aware to not gravitate towards power, because we see where that leads. As well, governments and taxation, you see where that leads, so we don't want to do that. And maybe, luckily enough, we're not psychopaths, so that's probably the main thing. Well, but what do we do with the psychopaths then, Megan? Because the whole system is in place to kind of to facilitate psychopathy and get it all the way up.
Can't we? No, it's a horrible thing. But can't we just put them on the Falklands? We can take everybody off and leave them with the sheep. You know, because those are a nice bit of windy, rocky island, and there's enough there that you can survive, but not much else. And I think that we should put these assholes all on one single island, and they can butt fuck each other and rape the sheep until well, maybe not the sheep, because they're innocent. But
a good one would be to get Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, David Cameron, George Bush Sr., Jr., and Barack Obama, and release them on the streets of Basra or Baghdad.
Kandahar,
let the locals speak to them and say, "Oh, these are the guys who bombed your country. Go speak to them and see how they survived there." But maybe that's a bit too much retribution.
Okay, but no matter how peaceful you are, when you get to a certain level, for each person, there comes a point where you go, I'm a peace-loving person, I'm a peaceful person, but I cannot see this anymore. I cannot condone this anymore. I cannot ignore this anymore. And, you almost want to create some sort of retribution, but in the end, spiritually, they don't learn from it. And be they psychopaths as I name them, be they reptilians as David would name them. Reptilians are an energy form too. They're not separate from the energy of the universe. Even if they're doing this thing where they're cloning themselves and they're not going back to source and they're becoming more and more distorted from source, or any number of concepts. I think the cloning thing came from Freeman, so we give him credit for that. But no matter where this is, this is an imbalance. They're polarized, and if we ourselves become polarized in an attempt to get rid of them, then you don't want to become what you fight. So I think that in a way it's a matter of it's like a child who has a temper tantrum. Right? You want to restrain the child so that it's not injuring others or itself without killing the child. You don't have to kill them because these people are spiritually their children. Spiritually they're insecure little boys who, have to have every toy in the sandbox or they're not happy. And it's because they don't feel secure within themselves. And so in order for them to progress spiritually, they need to be restrained. I don't necessarily think that they need to be murdered because they don't learn from it.
So where would you stop? Where would you draw the line between how evil someone is and whether they're murdered or not? It's a slippery slope.
Well, that's it. I don't condone murder on any level.
And also another thing is, people at the top, they're not actually killing anyone. They're just ordering human beings to do it to other human beings.
No, I don't believe that, actually. I believe that they are...
themselves. But I mean,
believe that they are themselves
scale.
murderers. I mean, there's too much evidence to the contrary.
They themselves are pedophiles, murderers themselves, but on the kind of global scale of, as you say, we out-sheep the sheep, we out-kill the killers, because they just convince, through propaganda and lies, massive amounts of armies of men and women to go battle against other men and women that they've never met each other. They've got no personal vendetta against one another. So,
you have to dehumanize your victim. You have to make them think that they're animals. There are a lot of black people in America who think that Africa is a sort of panacea place for black people, where all black people are equal. And I'm like, the tribes are slaughtering each other. One tribe sees the other tribe as inhuman, and they slaughter each other. You
like
know, the
Rwanda,
Tutsis
for
and the
example.
Hutus. Yeah. And in South Africa, all the violence against the non-South African blacks who've moved down there looking for a better life.
Yeah.
You know, huge amounts of violence and riots and bloodshed. You know, just remarkable. You know, people attacking, you know, other people. But first, you have to make them less than human. They're an animal. They're a towelhead. They're you know,
cockroach.
They're a Jew.
Yeah.
You know, Jews are this, or Muslims are that. And you know, you find a lot of people who do a lot of really good work in the conspiracy theory area, and then suddenly assume that because a few of the bankers happen to be Jewish, that it's a Jewish conspiracy, and they don't make a distinction between Judaism and Zionism. And that's a huge thing.
And that's a great victory for the actual Zionists to hide behind a smokescreen of anti-Semitism and people getting confused. And, yeah, as many people say, Zionism as well. I mean, let's not forget, you know, if we go along with mainstream history, 6 million Jews died in World War II, and that was fully funded and organized by the Zionists themselves.
Yes, funded.
And I suspect that, yeah, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, they wanted those 6 million Jews to die to justify Israel and to put this massive smokescreen up, because no one could then criticize what they're doing, because, oh, we're Jews too, when they're not. They're not Jews. They're evil, murdering scumbags. They're not Jews, yeah.
And so, yeah, you look at this, and then, you know, just the word anti-Semitism itself, you know, Semitism has to do with language, right? There are Semitic languages, and so anybody that comes from an area that speaks a Semitic language is a Semite. The first Semitic language is Akkadian, but so is Sumerian, so is Hittite, so is Assyrian, so is Hebrew. All of these languages are Semitic languages, and all of these people from these areas are Semitic peoples. And so the largest group of anti-Semites on the planet would be the Zionists, because they're murdering Palestinians out and outright, and Palestinians are Semites.
Yeah. I think there's two types of people in the world. There's assholes and nice people, and I don't care what color or religion they are.
Yeah, I mean, what does it matter if your space boot suit came in blue or green, you know?
Exactly.
And the other thing that I find very funny is that people have this knee-jerk reaction to the word conspiracy as well.
Oh yeah,
yet,
that's part of the system control. It's one of the programs to maintain people, to keep people away from the information. You try and present any of this. Oh, is this crazy conspiracy theory? And it's a wonderful spokesman, but that's designed within the Matrix to be like that. So.
Well, the word conspiracy is very like the word anti-Semitism in that it's misinterpreted.
Yeah.
You know, it means to plot, to come to secret agreement to commit an unlawful act, or to in secret plan a act which later becomes unlawful. I mean, that is the dictionary definition of it. Since you're feeling ill, why don't we just do a last little bit on maybe alternative healing and big pharma?
Sure.
You know, I mean, one of the things that's been most demonized by big pharma is, of course, cannabinoids. And cannabinoids are brilliant for so many different things, you know, so let's hit that.
Well, yeah, anything which helps you expand your mind and see how you've been lied to every single day of your life, like cannabis or magic mushrooms, are illegal. Because they want you to have the government-sanctioned narcotics, which don't do anything for you. I actually have to admit, like right now, I've got severe back pain, and but smoking a bit of weed helps it a lot, and I feel quite happy about it afterwards, because it kind of, maybe it puts things into perspective for me. I start to realize, hold on, it's not real, your back's not really real in the kind of true sense of the word, so don't worry about it. And it does have a kind of spiritual, it creates more levity, it creates more lightness, where before there was heaviness in my back.
And thank you so much for coming out, despite, you know, your back pain and not feeling tip top today. Really appreciate it. And
Megan, thank you so much for speaking to me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Really has.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this message is brought to you by the School of International Protest. What you will have to do is disobey the event organisers and actually occupy the centre of London for as long as possible. As long as you all... Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you all leave leave this place at 5 p.m. and go home to your cups of tea, the government will not think you're serious. The only way to bring about mass change and an actual embarrassment to the government is to actually occupy the city centre. Bring traffic to a standstill, bring the financial district to a standstill. There's not enough police in this city for all of you here today. You have to stick